of this minister in the temple of God.
There are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the taunting. Who can come and start just from where we are?
Representing people, Mr. President, my people are on the sea.
I will place economic stability and confidence. To condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this minister in the temple of God.
Access to our money will put in return.
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth.
And welcome to ATN's Open Conversation, which is a network flagship political platform through which trending political news, events, and stories are discussed with stakeholders. Through these conversations, ATN uses political talks about specific issues, party system, and actors to explore hope and engender positive impact to the society. Today on ATN Open Conversation, we'll start from Benue State. Autumn appreciates supporters' solidarity as state government's prosecution lingers. November 11, Kogi APC chieftain predicts shocking defeat for PDP. On screening, Lagos State House of Assembly dropped 17 commissioner nominees. On election tribunal, Ogun State Governor Abiodun says PDP will not win. APC, the Osun State APC chairman urges members to boycott Arek Bashala's Omolabi group. Ministers, APC bigwig says 45-member federal cabinet not enough. Stay with us. We'll come back to you after the break.
Representing people, Mr. President, my people are on the sea.
I will place economic stability and confidence. To condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this minister in the temple of God.
Access to our money will put in return.
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the taunting. Who can come and start just from where we are?
Representing people, Mr. President, my people are on the sea.
I will place economic stability and confidence. To condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this minister in the temple of God.
Access to our money will put in return.
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the taunting. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
All right, welcome to ATN Blowout, everyone. ATN Open Conversation, I beg your pardon. But before we get to Benue State to talk about Autumn's appreciation for his supporters and solidarity, let's get to welcome Comrade Imabe Savior Oscar. Good to have you on ATN Open Conversation. Now, let's get to Benue State, everyone. Chief Samuel Autumn, the immediate past governor of Benue State, thanked his supporters and well-wishers for their concerns regarding the unjust harassment and persecution of both him and his subordinate by Reverend Father Hyacinth Alia led government since they left office. Autumn said, Autumn pleaded with his followers to maintain composure in a press release that was issued under the signature of his media assistant, Trevor Akase. He claimed to have observed and appreciated all remarks and worries expressed in various quarters regarding his struggles and those who worked for him, including harassments, car seizures, and arrests. Autumn, who stated that he is capable of responding to issues concerning his 8 years of administration, urged his well-wishers to restrain themselves, assuring that justice would prevail. He also admonished them against any acts that could heat up the polity, assuring that he was capable of responding to issues raised against him and other officials of his government. The statement said Chief Autumn deeply appreciates all the concerns being expressed by different people over his harassment and those who served his administration in one form of petitions to anti-graft agencies, arrest and impoundment of vehicles. He, however, calls for calm and urges those making statements regarding the situation to exercise the restraint and not heat up the polity. The former governor says he's capable of responding to issues raised against him and other officials himself. All right, Comrade Oscar, the concern about this statement, looking at it through and through, is this. I can't remember the priest who is the present governor of Benue State. Apart from the time when the vehicles were seized, according to them, they went to his, is it park or something now, like a vehicle warehouse or something, and saw government vehicles that he shouldn't be with Autumn and all of that. And of course, if he has a case to answer, I don't see that being a recurrent thing. Why do you think this conversation is in the news right now? You have any idea why he's having this conversation with his people?
Listen, when certain politicians feels that they are beyond the people because of the system we practice in Nigeria, this becomes the case. Because I think the G5 governors, which Autumn belonged to, is actually one of the reasons why he feels that he is superior and nothing can come to him. Especially when one of his principal or the chairman of the G5, former governor of Rivers State, Chief Barrister is now an FCT minister. You can see how they are running around like small boys. You can also see how Autumn was also asking, then when we were asking the PDP to support, Autumn make it open that Atiku Abubakar should come out and then send donation to him that he's not supporting the government. Until the man has to send some money. He also requested that the current president, who was then the candidate of the APC, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, should also support his administration. So when you say a government that will not be able to create IGR for the betterment of the citizens or the state, then requesting for individual donors to support his own government, the same politicians like him also say that this is also going to be a failed system. Now, if you have a system and the only way you can be able to get something or to ensure that you participate in governance or positive governance is by expecting from individual donors, not by using the state resources to create resources or IGL that can be able to make the state move forward or strive in the middle of nothing, considering the hardship and the privations that is being faced by people of Benue State, who of Benue State have actually benefited so much. So I wonder why they should always be in the news for unnecessary issues. Currently, we have the SGF from Benue State, as we speak. Senator George Akume He's from Benue State. Also, I think we also have other principal persons in the government.
Are you?
And from
Ayu's not
longer there as the from Benue State. So if Otom can be matured enough and act like a matured person, and then stop running around from pillar to post in the name of litigation issue. These are not new thing. If he was found wanting, he should present himself for him to be questioned. If the current governor of Benue State found him wanting, then no problem, because we want a situation where democracy can be seen to be practiced. But unfortunately, the democratic system in Nigeria is dead and buried. Because if we have a democratic system where the judiciary were up to date, where the INEC was up to date, where the executive were up to date, where the legislation was up to date, then everybody is independent. Or people are acting based on their independent rules and laws. I'm quite sure Otom won't be having this kind of soft landing like he's having now. If you have a vehicle that do not belongs to you, why be in government just like what was displayed recently on the news yesterday, last night, was it last night or before yesterday? The FCT 001. Of course, we know who the FCT 001. And people are accusing him of having a vehicle worth 300 million amount car. And he's coming out to deny that he does not have such vehicle. At the same time, coming out to also tell us that as a former governor, that is opportune or entitled, or he can be able to afford such as a former governor. Was it with your personal resources as a former governor, or was it with the state resources as a former governor? You actually bought those vehicles as a former governor from your personal resources or from the salary you are being paid as a governor. Can you afford such a vehicle? Why will you come out and say you are a former governor? So that's a yardstick to drive exclusive cars like that, even when the state is suffering and is facing serious action. So if Otom has been found wanted and the current governor wants to question him, he should present himself for questioning. Besides, his supporters in Benue State also believe that has not actually did not do well. There's no major project in Benue State. If you go to some areas in Benue State, you can't actually say this is the footprint of Otom. In the June federal constituency, you will see that a lot of things is going on. Go to Makodi, you see a lot of things are actually not in place. The presence of Otom as a former governor, I don't think is being visible. So, and that's why the people are also not happy with him. If the people were happy with him, we have seen supporters coming up to actually get up and they want him to succeed in the tenor of face the litigation is facing. But if the law has to take its course, there is nothing Otom can do about it, except with the fact that we have a government that do not respect the rule of law. In the case where we have a government that respects the rule of law, Otom will actually be faced and the criminal charges and the financial charges against him should be brought to Nigerians so that Nigeria can say, okay, this is an example. Though we don't expect just Otom to be facing that example, just like we have some other NGOs and CBOs that have been coming up. So the governors that have served as governors should not be paying pensions. Why will you be paid pensions? Maybe Otom is one of those persons that also be paid pension. But we are told that we should not be allowed situation like this shouldn't be allowed to happen. Because when it happens, you create so much of unnecessary situations and create hardship for the people. Otom is living today, Samuel Otom is living today with the name of former governor and thinking that he cannot he cannot be questioned because he was a former governor. Who said so?
So you think that all of this is to preempt what may be coming after him, considering that the case is still lingering, the issues of prosecution around him is lingering? You think this is like, okay, preempting what may be coming after him?
Well, Otom happens to be in this news because, one, I actually admire him, though. Why I said so, because in one of his statements, why he was the governor, he was the only governor that came out openly and said, this is the person Nigerians should support for presidency. So, Otom's problem may not just be coming because of what he has. I think it also has a political undertone. I think because our judiciary has allowed themselves to be used and not being based on the justice or looking at the fair hearing of both parties. Rather, they have actually allowed themselves to be used based on who is in power, the executive arms of the government. And that is why Otom is having challenge right now, because I remember vividly well that Otom came out openly and actually presented himself to support a particular candidate and against the current president, which is also might be part of his fate right now. So, but if we'll be proven wrong, I think the outcome of this judicial scenario will be the reason how we're going to get the case. But as it is now, I sense political undertone because he came out and never supported this current administration. He was not in support of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He actually channeled his support to Peter Obi and said that Peter Obi was the rightful candidate and the candidate that Nigeria should vote for. He also went further to say that the Igbos should grab the opportunities right now and then give their support to the son of the soil, which is Peter Obi. He mentioned all of that, and I think at that point, Tinubu was not happy with such a statement. Now, considering the kind of government we have today, we do not do governance after politics. What we do in Nigerian government is politics versus politics or politics after politics. Because if it was in a case where we concentrate on governance after politics, issues like this should have been wiped away and then move forward to think of how Otom can also give reasons why he wanted it to be. We all have rights to our choice of candidate. Yeah. Otom has the right to who he wants to support. Despite the fact that he was a sitting governor, he also has the right to say, this is who I want to support, even though he belonged to the ruling APC or Progressive Congress. And he felt that the presidential candidate of the All Progressive Congress is not credible for him to support. And considering the fact that people have suffered hardship and also knowing the antecedent of the presidential candidate of the APC, then who is now the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and then based on this antecedent, he felt that Bola Ahmed Tinubu cannot give us an effective representation, which is what we are seeing right now. I think Otom actually saw this ahead, and that's why he said, we cannot continue this, we have to support Peter Obi. And that was the statement he made in Benue State. And that was also the statement he made to the Igbos. So I think if it is that statement that is fighting him back, then it is sad. But even the fact that actually he's found wanting, and the fact that the level of accusation against him, some of those things he's been accused, he's guilty of the accusations level against him, and that is the reason why he's been charged. Then I think he should go and face his trial. Yeah. But for any reason, there is a political undertone about what he's facing right now. I think it's totally a sad one, and it's not actually expected because people should be given the opportunity to vote who they want to vote, support who they want to support. After all, the current president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, was also in APC supporting Wike. He appointed Wike as the FCT minister. Is Wike a member of PDP? Is Wike actually part of a PDP government? APC government. Wike is PDP. Wike is not APC. So why will you go about appointing a PDP person as FCT minister? If actually the Bola Ahmed Tinubu is ready to set the pace, but at the same time, if you are going to fight Otom because of his statement, then you should also ask Wike to leave office as the minister for FCT. No,
well, whatever the case, Tinubu hasn't said anything, and of course, if Otom feels that he's now surrounded by the APC at the national and at the state level, clearly he's a politician and they always know what to do about this situation. But let's get to Kogi State now. Okay. A chieftain of the All Progressive Congress and the Executive Secretary of Kogi State Office for Disability Affairs, Barrister Zacchaeus Dari Michael, has boasted that Osun State Governor Senator Demola Adeleke will experience the political shock of his life when the People's Democratic Party is decisively defeated in the upcoming Kogi governorship election. Governor Adeleke is the chairman of the PDP National Campaign Council for the Kogi State governorship election. Barrister Zacchaeus spoke in response to Governor Adeleke, who said he has defeated an incumbent before and was coming to lead PDP to victory in the forthcoming November 11 Kogi governorship election. The APC chieftain described the PDP governorship candidate, Senator Dino Melaye, as a disaster with no electoral value, saying he could not even deliver his House of Assembly candidate in the last elections. Well, while pointing out that Kogi State is not Osun, Zacchaeus said Governor Yahaya Bello has a lot of achievements that were visible, which will also make the APC win overwhelmingly. So he claimed that the PDP is an empty shell, adding that all the PDP leaders and members have all joined the APC, wondering how the opposition party would win the election, governorship election, when it has no structure and even a single individual who can lead the party in the state. So he described the PDP candidate as one that is not marketable, saying his clownship politics has made him not to be marketable and stable. He also noted that the scenario in Kogi was different from that of Osun State, saying The last governorship contest in Osun was won between the APC and the APC. Now, I don't know why Adeleke, well, probably because he's the one leading the team or something of that nature. Why did this idea of my party would win and all of that? Where is this confidence again coming from? If you look at the 2023 election, general elections, the way Tinubu was certain consciously that he's winning the election, and he actually came out to be declared by INEC. We have in Kogi State again, an APC state, an APC chieftain is clearly saying that PDP has no structure. And that's first news. I'm wondering, like, is this a serious thing? But keep that on one side and now ask yourself, why is the APC saying that PDP would not win election in Kogi State? Is there any reason for that?
You see, the problem we have in these political parties is that most times they always want to leave the issues of importance or leave the view that how it will favor the people and then concentrate politically on their political structure. And they have failed to realize that it is no longer based on political structure. Rather, we are having a situation beyond the political structure. It is not supposed to be based on that. And that's the purpose. That's why APC is failing every day. APC has been failing since they took over power from the PDP. PDP failed, yes. APC decided to fail woefully. Even when PDP has failed, we expected that APC will sit up and then do the right thing. But why are they failing? They are not failing because it's based on political party. They are failing because of the individuals that are being presented. And that's the result of the failure. We should look beyond party lines and then look at credible leadership or credible leaders or people that can be able to lead or take Nigerians from the level we are today to a different level that can make life meaningful to all Nigerians. As we speak today, the APC actually campaign based on political issues. PDP campaigning based on political issues does not have anywhere, does not deliver anything to the people of Kogi State. If you go to Kogi people are suffering. In short, the entire Nigerians are suffering. Yaya Bello, the Kogi State, do not do anything to better the life of Kogi. The flyover that they constructed in Lokoja, that is situated in Lokoja, that flyover, how many months, how many years does it take to construct that flyover? And if you ask, how many of those flyovers was constructed by the then governor or by Yaya Bello? How many flyovers were constructed? How many of those roads that was taken over? The flood that took over in Kogi State, don't we have a governor? What was the impact? What was the outcome of the Kogi State governor in a way of trying to stop or to see beyond the expectation of that flood? Because what we are thinking, if we have a government that look beyond or that think about the future and then concentrate on governance and how to make the state better, it will be much understood that even the APC government that we have today, which the APC is using to claim that they are going to use to deliver in Kogi State. What is their blueprint? How was their president felt across the local government in Kogi State? Was the president actually felt? Was the impact so successful? Was the impact actually fruitful to the people of Kogi State? Go to Lokoja and then see how people are suffering. Go to other part of Kogi State and see the hardship that people are facing in Kogi State. Meanwhile, we have a governor in that state that is claiming that his party will win. We have a governor that has claimed that he has done noble. No, come to think of Dino Melaye. Of course, we also have character in Dino Melaye. I personally have never been a fan of Dino, but I think considering the fact that he made me proud recently, and I was very much happy about the level.
He made you proud?
Yes.
What did he do?
At least I can always say it, and I keep saying it everywhere, that we have the likes of former governor of Rivers State, Chief Barrister Wike, the 001 of FCT, and the minister for FCT, who came up and said that Dino will not be able to smear or get the ticket of the PDP. He said Dino will not get the PDP governorship candidate. That was the response of Chief Barrister Wike, the FCT 001. But at the same time, it was shocking and surprising to him that the same PDP that he said, the same Dino Melaye, that he accused or said that will not be able to smell the PDP ticket, is now the candidate of the PDP. Isn't that the first step of success for Dino? To me, I record this as his first stage of success because for be able to achieve this ticket against the wishes of Chief Barrister Nyesom Wike. That's to tell you that if Barrister Nyesom Wike, who is actually seen to be the king in Nigerian politics today because of his style of leadership, because of his style of politics, and all the politicians in Nigeria are now seen as one of the influential person in the country, and then seen as someone that they can all worship. They are worshiping him right now because of his style of leadership. And then you are not considering the generation where you are leading Nigeria to, because at this point in time, you must have a future to build. Nigeria is not thinking about the future. Nigeria is not thinking about tomorrow. Our leadership is failing so much that they are not considering the younger generations. Because if they are considering the younger generations, not the political style they embarked upon today, they will not. If they are considering the future generation or the younger ones that will take over from them, some of the position they are doing, some of the style, their political style today, they will not embark on them. But because they don't care about the future and where Nigeria is taking us to, they don't care about Vision 2020 that they actually look upon before. They don't care about Vision 5050 or Vision 2050, as the case may be. Vision 2027 in Nigeria is the next election and not the stage that will be the way they are going to take Nigeria out of poverty or Nigerians out of poverty. That is not the point of consideration right now. Because if you are considering such a thing, I'm quite sure by now they will be looking at their self or their personal benefits as the yardstick to Nigeria's success. But rather, they are failing because it is not their consideration. And that's why the likes of APC will come out and use only political party to campaign. How will you campaign based on political party? Why not campaign based on the aspect, the fruitful outcome of what APC government has done to the people of Kogi State? How many persons have Kogi State governor empowered? I can only remember when it was about when Yaya Bello wanted to become the next Nigeria president or contesting for the APC presidential candidate. The next what I saw was that he was gathering women, buying them clothes, inviting different sets of women, and then asking them to come with uniform. And then was using Kogi State resources to be going on air, to be talking about the women inclusiveness, talking about women this, talking about women that. And that was the only thing he did. Immediately failed the APC presidential candidate. At the same time, he went inside and then went and stopped talking and was not concentrating on governance again. So at this point, what are you going to take? The only project, one of the projects I can consider as what he did, the flyover in Lokoja. That flyover he did, they constructed in Lokoja. You can see how bad that flyover is. The last time I made use of that flyover at Lokoja, you can see that flyover has nothing to talk about because even the structure and the design, it did not meet up the standard. There was no standard, there was zero level.
Are you a civil engineer?
I'm not a civil engineer.
Okay, so you're just speaking based on their stats.
We are seeing flyover all over other states. We've seen flyover in other parts of the country.
So
go to Kano State.
But Governor Weki's one is better than that one, right?
Well, both of them are bridge. So I think both of them are bridge. Wike bridge in River State and Yaya Bello bridge in Lokoja.
Okay, which is better?
The both of them are the same. The only difference between Wike own and that of Lokoja is because that of Lokoja is not painted, while that of River
so there's
State
something different.
And the paint now, there is no paint difference. Even though the structure is still the same. Because at the point it's not meeting up the target. It's not meeting up expectation. People are not even using it. It's just the Kogi State Lokoja, the Lokoja flyover or bridge. It's like the Ikoku bridge where people are not using it. You can count the number of persons that make use of that bridge. A lot of persons use the ground they pass under, while few persons come up. And that's how it is today. So there is no impact of that flyover.
It's okay. It's okay. We're still having this conversation, everyone. We're still in Kogi State. If you're just joining, this is Open Conversation, the community for Atlantic Television Network. Now, if you need to run and you still want to continue to enjoy the show, not to worry, we've got you covered. All you need to do is log on to atlanticnetwork.tv to watch us live or watch us live on Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, or just download ATN Live from the App Store and you can watch us everywhere and wherever you go. But we're still in Kogi, so let me come back to Comrade Oscar. Something is going on with this PDP governorship candidate in Kogi State, and that's Senator Dino Melaye. He's naturally a loud person. He's naturally someone who is everywhere for time. Why do you think that he's not really talking much? Nothing is being heard from him. Just maybe one. I think the last time we saw him was at Ike Kweremadu's son's wedding over the weekend. And that's been, so there's really nothing much. Or when they went for the PDP meeting in Abuja, why do you think he's not everywhere and just minding his business these days? Is he working on the ground, maybe?
You see, Dino Melaye, I can give it to him. There is an experienced person, and he's not new in the business of Nigeria politics. He is one of the politicians in Nigeria that has actually become a senator and is known all over the country. And he has not become a president, he has not become a vice president, neither has he hold any position in Aso Rock or the Villa. He has not had any federal position apart from being a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And that was a senatorial position in his own state. I think that's the only thing that has projected Dino Melaye to this extent, even though he has an anti-graft agency that he operates with. But I think even the anti-graft agency that he operates with is not enough, because if we are not, he's not known for the anti-graft agency that he operates. Rather, he's known as the former senator, and that has projected him beyond the stage he is today. So Dino has actually tried so much, because I cannot actually say this is the position that has catapulted him down to the position he is today. I think I should give it to him as someone that has actually strived to make his face and his name known in every look and cranny of Nigeria, because everybody across Kogi State, in Rivers State he is known, in other states of the country he is also known. That's to tell you that he's a popular candidate. And I think the APC candidate, is he a popular candidate? The answer is no. The only popular candidate we have today is campaigning for him. He might not be doing any campaign, but I think he has made a name for himself that is campaigning for him right now. And that's why if you ask questions, a lot of people will ask you, who is the candidate for APC? He is not known, because why? The person has not made any name, but Dino has made name for himself. And I think Dino has a lot of fight, because some persons in the presidential cabinet today may not want him to succeed. And some of those persons that may not want him to succeed, we are actually looking forward to get power, or to grab power. Some of them use state resources to get the power they are holding today. We know of many of them that lobbied to become minister. We know of many of them that bought the ministerial position that is also with the president today. They bought it. So when someone will go and buy ministerial position, you ask yourself, what is the expectation of somebody that uses state resources to go and pay for a ministerial position because he wants to remain in power, he wants to remain relevant in power. So going to Dino Melaye, I think at this point, if Dino Melaye is not talking, maybe he has changed his style, because they were seeing him to be a very noisy kind of person, or lousy kind of person. But I think there is more to what he's doing now. He wants to perform the statement that says, the more you look, the less you see. While APC is busy campaigning against PDP, he is busy doing his underground work, I think based on what I can sense around him right now, because for some time now I was opportune to speak with one of the persons very close to him, and they were saying he was actually doing a lot of work, underground work. So I think the underground work is by reaching out to principal actors that can be able to say, okay, you take charge of your unit, you take charge of your ward, you take charge of your local government constituency and senatorial district. I think that's important, because what we look at right now is the footprint. Dino on his own do not have anything you can say, this is what Dino did when he was a senator in his senatorial district that he can use in campaigning. So it is a bit difficult for him to actually say this is what he wants to use in campaigning. Then the current APC governorship candidate of Kogi State, what does he have to present to the people of Kogi State? So if you ask me, I think they don't have more than him, because they don't have a name. Why he doesn't have a name? Right, and that is why they are using APC structure as a yardstick for campaign. In a case where APC has done perfectly well, if Yaya Bello actually wanted to produce a predecessor, or actually wanted to present somebody that will take over from him and make the person very effective, I think what Yaya Bello would have done was to make his presence felt in all local government in Kogi State. But as we speak, Yaya Bello has nothing to prove that this is what he has actually presented the people of Kogi that will speak for the APC person that is going to take over from him. It's very difficult, and that's why APC is just coming up with the campaign against PDP. Why not campaign about what you are going to do for the people? Why not talk about where you have failed and how you want to build on where you have failed? Why not talk about the places you failed and how you want to improve on where you failed? Why not talk about the local government you do not touch and your intention to make sure that you carry the local government you do not touch in your next line of government? Why not talk about the senatorial district that your president was not felt, that you want people to feel or to feel your president when next you are going to take over power? Why not talk about the world or the unit that you were not able to visit in the time you were in power? Some of the communities you are not able to even know about their existence. You cannot even remember some of the communities in Kogi State. Why not use the opportunity to say this is what you are going to do and then start it, or you start implementation stage, so that when you become the governor, if you succeed as the governor, when you become the governor, people can count on it and then use it as a yardstick to vote for you, if at all they are going to vote for you, or they are not going to see it as a run of the seat. Why not think about that? Why campaigning APC, PDP? Is that supposed to be the rightful campaign? Are you going to campaign against political party, or are you going to campaign or present your manifesto to the people? You see how backward we are in Nigeria, how backward our political system is, how backward our governance, we don't have, as zero governance we have today. Because if we have a system where our political leaders or people that aim to become political leaders, we are coming out to campaign on what they are going to deliver, their deliverables, and then their blueprints to the people. You will understand that they will be coming out to present or to showcase what Yaya Bello has done. Now, what has Yaya Bello done that will make APC to succeed in Kogi State as a governor in the state? What has Yaya Bello done? No, nothing. At the same time, PDP has no presence in Kogi State. So the both political parties has no presence in the state where the people has felt positively the impact of APC or felt the impact of PDP. Dino Melaye has based in Abuja all this while. I've been living in Abuja in his house in Maitama, and has not been so closer to the people except on the media and except on social media, except attacking Wike and telling Wike not to step into his constituency. But outside that, what has Melaye presented in his own senatorial district?
So take a guess. So who are you then expecting to win the elections if it's going to be actually free and fair in Kogi State?
I think at this point, talking about who should win election in Kogi State is very difficult at this point, because I want to speak based on sentiment, and I also want to look at it based on political issues, based on those that are paraded themselves politically and is known politically. No, I want to look at who we be able to impact in terms of governance, because I'm a young man, I represent a group of youth, and we know what we are facing right now on the street. There is no job anywhere for youth to take over. There is nothing that the youth can be able to leverage upon right now. The government in power today does not care about the young generation. The government today only care about a cabal. That's what we have today. But the system we have is based on cabal, based on elites, based on those that have been there with them, based on solidarity according to Rivers State government. They continue in solidarity, and they are not doing anything to think about the well-being of the younger generation or the well-being of the entire populace that intend to move further. The hardship is not a major concern to them. It's not even a concern. Talk of being a major concern. They are not even considering anything. So at that point, it will be difficult to actually say this is who should succeed, because looking at the antecedent of the candidate of APC, looking at the antecedent of the candidate of PDP, and on the candidate of other political parties in Kogi State, it is very difficult to say this is who you want to win the election. Because if you want to say this person should win, what will you use as a litmus, as a yardstick for him to be voted for? What? Even their presentations is not even enough for them to say, let's vote for this person. Their manifesto has not been out to say this is their manifesto, this is what they are expecting. If they don't have anything to show that this is what they have done while they were in power, or while they have actually experienced power before, at least they should have something to say this is what they want to do now, or they have learned from their lesson. According to the current Senate President, His Excellency, Senator Godswill Obot Akpabio, what did he say when he wanted to become the Senate President? He said he should not be defined based on a former position as a minister, because he knew that he failed as a former minister of Niger Delta. So he actually came back and said, don't judge me as a former minister. So you can imagine the kind of Nigerians that we have. A man that will come out and say, don't judge me as a former minister. Rather, you should judge him based on the position he's looking for, or as a former governor. So you are a former governor, you are a former senator, and you are a former minister. Out of these three positions, you want to be judged for only one, being a former governor. So what happened as a former senator? What happened as a former minister? And you say we should not judge you as a former senator. We shouldn't also judge you as a former minister. Rather, we should only judge you as a former governor. Is that to say that this is the kind of leadership we have in the country? This is failed system. Because if we have a system like this going forward, we cannot go to say this is who we are supporting. So what we want the PDP candidate in Kogi State to do, that's Dino Melaye, what we want him to do is to come out and tell Kogi people what you want to present to people if you become the next governor of Kogi State.
Well, the campaign just started. Well, the campaigns just started. I guess 3 months to the elections, and then maybe we'll get to see more of that, and not just about people who sit back and say he's not going to win the election and Adeleke is going to be shocked. And I don't know what Adeleke, who is already a governor, going to be shocked about. Well, wish them the very best.
Maybe they are trying to look at, they are not doing it as challenged, because it's not a political tussle, power tussle. That is the problem we have in the country.
All right.
When we look at power tussle and not the deliverables based on what you have done or what the delegate has done also as a governor.
All right.
What are you using as an example? Now this is what you have done, this is what you have done. For that reason you think Dino Melaye cannot be able to achieve this and this you have done. And that's why you think APC can be able to do this and this that you have done.
Let's get to Lagos State. Quickly, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu nominated 9 commissioners, but the Lagos State House of Assembly has rejected 17 of them. The commissioner nominees rejected by this Lagos State Assembly are Mrs. Folashade Adefisayo for Education, Professor Akin Abayomi for Health, Wenga Omotosho for Information and Strategy, Olalare Odusote for Energy, Mrs. Solape Ahmad, Mrs. Cecilia Dada, Women Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, Mrs. Aramide Adeyoye, Works and Infrastructure, Sam Egube, Economic Budget and Planning, Yomi Oluyomi, Mrs. Folashade Ambrose, Miss Baraket Bakere, Rotimi Fashola, Olaleka Batodu, Mosupe Folu George, Shaun Oshiyemi, Rotimi Ogunboyi, Olumide Oluyenka. Now, did you expect that Sanwo-Olu will send lists for commissioner nominees and the Lagos State Assembly will bounce back 17 of them?
I sincerely want to appreciate the Lagos State government.
Or the State Assembly?
Yes. I sincerely want to appreciate Lagos State government. In short, Lagos State government has been like the leading state in the country. Okay. Because it has actually impacted on so many, and they tried the best they can to make people feel like they are independent, even though there is a godfather somewhere. But they try the best they can to make people feel that, yes, they are actually thinking about governance and they are looking at what will make Lagos to go further. And the question is, why do we always have people who want Lagos to go further, always become the governor of Lagos State? Why can't we in Rivers State copy that? Or just the same way Akwa Ibom State is copying today. Akwa Ibom State is now having people that want Akwa Ibom to go further. Akwa Ibom is now trying the best they can to see how they can be able to make Akwa Ibom to be one of the leading states in the country, even though it's going to be very difficult for them. But that is what Lagos State is known for right now. The previous governor was thinking about how to make Lagos State better than how he met it. The former governor before the previous governor also thought about how he was going to make Lagos State better than the way he met it. This current government is also thinking about how to make Lagos State better than the way he also met it. And this is the case in Lagos State. Lagos State is not where you see people raising money to go and lobby this, lobby that. Just like we have in Rivers State. Rivers State was supposed to be one of the leading states. But unfortunately, we have got failed leaders, except that of Rotimi Amechi that tried his best, and that of the first governor of the former governor of Old River State,
yeah, King
Alfred.
What about the state assembly? It's not the governor. The governor sent this name. The assembly rejected.
That's what I'm coming to. Because now, in this case, these are the cases that I'm trying to use as an example. But coming to Lagos, like we rightly said, you see, that will tell you that the assembly members were not handpicked. That's the case that the governor of Lagos said, do not handpick the assembly members like the assembly members in Rivers State was handpicked. Now,
how do you mean he did not handpick the assembly members?
Yeah, because the assembly members actually vote, they came out to contest election by themselves. Okay. That's what it means, that they were ready to contest election, they came out to challenge the process, and they came out to campaign to the people in their various constituencies. And that's the example of when a person come out and say, I want to become an House of Assembly member. Not like the case of Rivers State where they will call you, they will call this person, they will call the next person, you go and take ticket for Kana local government, Kana constituency 1. Okay, you can go and take ticket for Kana constituency 2. Where is the other person? Go and take ticket for Kana constituency. Emoha, go and take. Where is the other one? Where is the local government chairman?
So where is the
local government chairman of Ikulu local government? Somewhere one of you go and become local government chairman. When you have local government chairman in the state that was just coming based on nomination and appointment and do not have the will to have a train system, they didn't come out to contest for election. That is the scenario where you see. But in the case of Lagos State, they were bold enough. They were were bold enough to reject the list because in the first place, they know they want the best for Lagos State. And the people that was sent to them for screening was not qualified based on what they anticipated. They needed to see a place where they will have a cabinet member that is the governor that can go to advise the governor. Not like the case of Rivers State, where old wines are running around each other. The list that was submitted by Rivers State government, the Rivers State government, the commissioner was nominated by the FCT 001, the former governor of Rivers State. No one nominated the commissioners in Rivers State.
Thank
That's why you have assembly members.
When we come back, we'll continue on all of the political conversation. Everyone will be back to you after the break.
Represent the people. Mr. President, my people are under siege. I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this minister in the Temple of God.
What our brother access to our money we put in the bank. I've always said there are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites, which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the taunting. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
From line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring.
Every day, our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics.
Nobody's ambition is what's the blood.
I have fought a very family.
Natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody, and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing. Honorable human They are not picking our calls. They made up their minds. I am the
with the EU, but
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring.
Every day, our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics.
Nobody's ambition is what's the blood.
I have fought a very family.
Natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody, and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this minister in the Temple of Justice.
Access to our money will put in his hand.
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites, which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the taunting. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Welcome back to ATN Open Conversation, everyone. Let's leave Kogi State and Comrade Oscar to leave them alone. Let's get to talk about the People's Democratic Party and its candidate in the March 18 governorship election in Ogun State. That's Honorable Ladi Adebutu, are on a wild goose chase at the Ogun State Election Petition Tribunal as their petitions rest on inconsistencies and distortions. Governor Dapo Abiodun and the All Progressive Congress have this to say. Well, Abiodun and the Ogun State chapter of the APC made this submission in their final written addresses as respondents in the case brought against them, arguing that the petitioners did an awful job and failed to prove their case. This, they said, was because Adebutu and PDP presented two-third and unreliable witnesses, relied on documents that contradicted their witnesses' case, and presented experts whose testimonies and documents lacked probative value. They argued that Adebutu and PDP, who are accused of vote buying with credible evidence, have unclean hands and could not receive equity with those unclean hands. They further said that out of the 87 witnesses of the petitioners, 38 stated they were polling unit agents but did not tender any evidence to prove their claim, adding that the 49 who testified as voters testified the same thing word for word, making the same mistakes, thereby creating a situation where the tribunal ought to hold that the positions were too obvious to be coincidental and were therefore unbelievable and of no probative value. While arguing further that the petition itself was based on provisions of the Electoral Act that do not support the margin of lead principle, Abiodun APC contended that while the margin of lead principle is rooted in Section 134 of the Electoral Act, the petition is based on Sections 24, 47, 51, and 62 of the Electoral Act. Relying on the Supreme Court verdict in Oyetola v. Adeleke, they argued that the petitioners did not prove overvoting, as Adebutu did not tender the BVAS machines for any of the 990 units complained about and did not even tender any BVAS machine. Again, while noting that the petitioners expressly stated that Governor Abiodun was duly sponsored by APC, the respondent said that Adebutu did not present any evidence to back his forgery allegation against Abiodun, and that at the governor's request, the tribunal summoned the WAEC official who produced a certified copy of the same certificate that the governor submitted to INEC. They further said that while the petitioners claimed that Governor Abiodun should not be governor because he had been convicted in Miami, USA, they provided no judgment in evidence of the alleged conviction. Further arguing that non-qualification is different from disqualification, Abiodun APC said that even if such judgment exists, it relates to events that purportedly happened 37 years ago, whereas a disqualifying conviction must occur within the last 10 years preceding the candidate's election. They added that while the petitioners claimed that Adebutu and PDP scored the majority of lawful votes after AP's unlawful votes are deducted and their own excluded votes added, they never proved the unlawful votes credited to Governor Abiodun or the source of their excluded votes, even as the figures in the petition conflicted with the figures in their witness report. Finally, while indicting the petitioners provided to admissible evidence to prove their allegations of vote buying against Governor Abiodun, the respondent drew the tribunal's attention to the massive and proven details of vote buying conducted by Adebutu during the election, which had been established in 2 police investigation reports, and for which Adebutu now at large and other PDP chieftains are standing trial, criminal trial. Please, is there anything PDP Ogun State can hold on to say they have a chance of winning the case against Abiodun, the present governor?
I felt so bad.
Why?
I felt so bad because I think instead of thinking of, we just keep going forward as a country. I felt so bad that we don't have a country where people can learn the best morals and also think of how the law can also be upheld and then people can believe in the rule of law. We have a system where people don't believe in the rule of law. If not, is judiciary supposed to be a deciding factor of who emerged or who became the governor of a state? When we have an INEC, is judiciary supposed to be? Now judiciary has taken the center space of declaring a winner in the election. And that's why INEC have also relinquished their power to the judiciary. You can imagine how much or what is going on right now. I can imagine what is going on right now is that the judiciary is now taking the center space of declaring a winner in a state governor election. It's so sad that we now believe that everybody, like we have now all eyes on the judiciary. Everybody is now saying all eyes on the judiciary. Was it the judiciary that conducted the election? What happened to INEC? Was the judiciary responsible for the conduction of this election? What happened? What is INEC doing? Why we going to this stage? I really feel so bad talking about the issue that concern the court. When judiciary, the INEC would have been responsible of this whole thing. Because INEC should be independent. INEC should learn to be independent. And that's why we're having a lot of court litigation cases all going. Come to Rivers State, go to Abuja, the election petition tribunal in Abuja, from House of Assembly to House of Rep to Senate to governor in Rivers State, is being tried in the court. It's been tried in the court. Meanwhile, we have a judiciary, we have an INEC that actually conducted this election and declared different people winner on the basis of lobby and bribe. How do we get to this stage? Now in Ogun State, we have a government, we have election that took place. Now we're also aware that if election has taken place between two political parties, APC and PDP, and there was an election that took place, and then you were able to declare a particular person winner, based on what? Because the challenge of the beavers is not new to INEC, the same way it's not new to Nigerians and to the judiciary or the court. It's not new. Then the witness that came to testify is also supposed to understand that the witness that came to testify is also supposed to be people that was on ground during the election. There are some things as a witness, if you want to go testify in the court as a witness, you don't need to be briefed on what to say because you're already aware of what happened. When you are aware of what happened, do you need to be briefed? The answer is no. So once you are being briefed of what happens, that means you are being sent to go and speak or to go and stand for somebody. Because before you go and testify in the court, you must be able to be aware or be abreast with the happenings of the election.
Good. So can I with the tutored, I mean, we've been seeing all of the evidence, some of the things at least that we've been seeing it during the proceedings. With the tutored witnesses and the others that came claiming the same thing, making the same statement, and if there is a punitive measure that says if I'm confirmed to have lied under oath, that I should be arrested even from the court premises, do you think that false witnesses or false claims will even be brought before the court?
You're supposed to be talking under oath.
Yes.
You're supposed to be talking under oath.
Yes.
Now, talking under oath means that you that brought the case to court and you, the defendant, both parties are supposed to be on clear standing to understand that it's just like you pass an information, false information, you are also supposed to go to prison for providing falseful information. But do we have the law respected in the country? Because the challenge is that even the people that actually bring in this law are the same lawbreakers.
Why do you think that Adebutu, for instance, well, two police witnesses came to confirm that, for even the bank came to the court to attest that the recharge card, what do you call ATM cards, was actually printed, produced, given to people as a way of vote buying. Why do you think, even with all of this evidence, he didn't still find the face to actually pull out of this petition?
Well, I think if INEC was on quite sure ATM card or any other card cannot work with the papers.
Because he didn't work with the papers. He bought it, they printed on it, added 10,000 naira. So they give you so you can go vote for him during the elections. That has been proven in the course of the petition.
You see, just like I wanted to say, as we speak today, I don't want to first look at the antecedent of the judiciary. I first want to look at the capability of the INEC, because that's where our problem is coming from. Declaring a candidate winner, you must understand that yes, this candidate have been declared winner, actually fulfill all the processes for being declared a winner. Now let's go to judiciary now. If you get to the judiciary and there are investigations about those that came to testify, or there are also other facts that have been provided or before the judge at the election petition tribunal, what is expected is that as a person, as a candidate of a political party that wants to take over or want to become a governor in that state, the first thing you do is actually briefed or know that the people you are bringing in to come and testify are people that actually do not have questionable characters, that put them on ground and are also abreast with the happenings that took place that day. But I'm also aware that some political parties also have a way of lobbying or bribing those that came to testify to say something in favor or against who they came to testify in favor. I have seen cases like that happening. So how are we sure that these other people, that those that came to testify, were not bought by the other party? You see, that's left for investigation. Because in Rivers State it happens. At the election petition tribunal in Abuja, it happens. The PDP bought some persons that was coming to testify in favor of APC. That's Toyoko. They bought some persons. And when Toyoko discovered, well, in Abuja, election petition tribunal sitting in Abuja, and when Toyoko discovered that some persons that was coming from Port Harcourt to go and testify in his favor has been bought, what did he do? He asked them to go back. And they do not appear in the tribunal again. So who? And those that are supporting the current administration, they bought the people that was coming to testify in favor of Toyoko. And the information immediately, Toyoko was privileged.
Favor or against?
Toyoko invited his own witnesses to come and testify in his favor at the election petition tribunal. So on their way coming to Abuja, or where they already arrived in Abuja, they were actually invited and was given peanuts. I call it peanut because you cannot take it for the rest of your life. They were given peanuts. When they were given the peanut, they were not prepared to talk against the person that invited them to come and testify in his favor. So these are some of the happenings that goes on at the election petition tribunal. Some of the documents are also changed, and the judges, it's just like we have a judge right now, forgotten where she came from, that rejected bribe. Recently, it was on the news that the particular
of the northern states.
Yes, it was in the news that one of the judges rejected bribe. And this is the kind of people that we want. It was also in the news that in Rivers State, the returning officer in Rivers State rejected bribe, and her life was threatened. And till today, we are yet to hear the safe aspect or to know the safety of that lady till today. But it was reported in the news that somebody that was bribed in Rivers State rejected bribe, and it's also in the news that a judge rejected bribe. And we are also aware that as we speak today, the judiciary has been given a lot of attention. And at this point, whoever wants to come and bribe any of the judges in the judiciary should be prepared that whatever happens, we from the grassroots stage, we that are seeking for good governance, we are going to come out on the street to make sure that when all of this is over, we are going to let the judiciary understand that we as the grassroots people, we have a role to play in terms of contributing to the betterment of this country. Because it is time we are going to come out and speak our voice. And that's why we have put a serious eye on the judiciary and let the judiciary understand that we have eyes on the judiciary from presidential election to governorship election to senatorial election to House of Rep election and to House of Assembly election. Our eyes is on the judiciary. To the woman or to the judge that rejected bribe, we say kudos and we appreciate you, because what she has done will liberate so many minds out there. What she has done will make some mind understand that yes, they have a mind of their own, and that the money that was brought is not compared to their integrity. So we have a stage where people should learn to protect their integrity and their principles and policies. And that's what we are looking at. We must not have a stage where we don't have a morals or mentorship again, because what we are suffering right now as young men It's mentorship. When we have politicians that are not thinking, or judges that are not thinking of the tomorrow, of the future of this country, and are ready to sell out or to accept any manner of bribe in the name of making sure that they use this period to achieve all they have not achieved for the rest of their life. It becomes a major challenge. So to the judiciary, I think in Ogun State, if a particular investigation has been done and it's clear that a particular candidate is not qualified, then we should want to see a case coming out for the public so that we may understand to move on, because as we speak today, we must clear ourselves of what is going on, and that is not really okay with us.
Thank you very much. The newly formed Omolabi Caucus, a group recently formed by the ex-governor Rauf Aregbesola, has been warned by the APC chapter in Osun State. The Omolabi Caucus, according to Aregbesola, is an association of like minds with progressive ideals. It was introduced on Tuesday in Ilesa. However, the Osun APC chairman, Mr. Tajuddin Lawal, responded to the launch in a statement on Wednesday, saying that party members should be cautious of the antics of the group's leader and keep the group at a distance. Lawal urged the immediate past Minister of Interior to let the APC breathe and take a deserving rest in order to be in tune with the political reality of the moment. The statement is a sequel to the launch of a political group, Omolabi Progressives, by the immediate past Minister of Interior, Mr. Rauf Aregbesola, in Ilesa, Osun State. The state chapter of the party has enjoined the members and supporters of the party in the state to be wary of the antics of the leader of the group, Mr. Aregbesola, and keep the group at an arm's length because of its diabolical intention and motive. He said, is it because Aregbesola has lost at the federal level, Lagos and Osun states, that he has resorted to lightening the gullible ones with pap in Osun State? Aregbesola should know that the Osun State APC of today is intact, unlike those in glorious years when he was dictating the pace as the governor, the state party chairman, and the speaker of the State House of Assembly. He said it should be known to Aregbesola that the Osun politics of the APC extraction of today is far better than what it used to be when he would be the sole contributor at party meetings. Is it not surprising that Aregbesola has turned himself to an instrument of the opposition by his actions and inactions? Chairman further said, what informed the formation of a group by Aregbesola now when there is no election around the corner? It is disheartening and disgusting that Aregbesola could stoop so low to have relegated himself to a sectional APC leader in Ilesa. But responding to this, former Osun State APC State Chairman Mr. Lowo Adebiyi said individuals have the right to belong to association. Adebiyi, who said the Osun APC Chairman only expressed personal opinion, urged members of the party interested in joining the group to first study the charter of Omolabi Caucus. That's the chairman's personal view. You can't stop anybody from joining any caucus. APC members are free to join any caucus if they see it as the reality and the way forward for them. What have they done with the party all this while? What program do they have for the party? We have alternative for the members of the party in terms of activities and programs. So people are free to join us. They should check out charter for the objective of the caucus. Okay, so yesterday we were discussing this issue here, and I said to my guests on an open conversation, actually, I said, what is the aim of having a separate group with a different agenda, like the former chairman Adebiyi said, charter, that's different from that of the party itself, within the party? And then I'm asking again right now, because this is like the party chairman in Osun State read my thoughts and say, this is clearly to create division, and all of the issues are boiling down. Now, there is no election going on in Osun State. He said Aregbesola has lost at the national, Lagos and other states. So what is there in need for him in Osun State to take over the party structure?
You see, APC as a government, I'm tired of them. I think they are just in the news for something that is so disheartening and disappointing. We have gone beyond this stage of politics. What do people want to see is the result of good governance, and not coming out to exhibit or to expose your dirty lineage in public as a political party. You see, the party has no credibility at this point. So we are not looking at the APC as a political party again. I think at this point, APC should learn how to be in the news for a good thing. Every time you wake up in the morning, the next thing you hear APC this, APC that. You hear APC this, APC that. The Alebosala that they are actually coming up with different intentions. I think these are the set of greedy set of politicians that we stop at nothing but to be relevant or want to be in authority at every given time. And that's why you see a former senator will end up becoming want to be a local government chairman. That's why I see a former speaker will go back to accept a commissioner. That's why I see a former House of Rep member want to contest as local government chairman. Because they just want to be relevant at all point or at every cost. That is the problem. Just like we have the case of the former minister becoming a current minister. It is so alarming that people don't want to allow others to grow. People don't just want to allow others to feel the impact or to be part of the business, to be part of the system that can be able to, that will make them contribute their own quota, or let us understand that this person has his own quota to contribute to the development of the state or the country. It is so alarming, it's so sad. We have a former minister in Rivers State that was a former advisory minister for education, a minister for state for education, and a former governor of the state, an immediate past governor of the state, and also currently the FCT minister. Must you remain in power as the time goes on? Now you are a former minister, you are fighting again to be a former minister, you are now a former minister. Is that supposed to be the case? When there are people that ought to take over this position, then you go home and then mentor them. You go home and then work on how you can also contribute from your house or do something better with yourself. Must you always remain in power? And that's the case where we have people coming out to remain in always think of being relevant or being at the corridor of power at every time and ignoring their integrity and also ignoring their personality. Because if some persons respect their integrity or respect their personality, they will be able to understand that it is not all about being in power, but also trying to say I can project younger ones or people that also can contribute better than you. Because whether you like it or not, we have people that have ideology, we have people that have ideas that is also better than your idea. We have people that have superior ideas that if brought to the table, they can make the state to go far and further than the way it is today. It must not be you and you always. So in terms of the Osun State people and the APC in Osun State, I think they are just trying the best they can to just ignore that they are there to represent the people and not to represent the party. There are two sets of people there. You're not representing APC as a political party in Osun State. You are representing the people in Osun State. So why are you thinking about just a political party? Everything about APC is about APC this, APC that, APC this, APC that. Always the case in the news. Why is it that we are not thinking about how we can go and get a competitive sector where we can say APC actually did social thing in social local government, and people are celebrating APC in social world. People are celebrating APC in social states. Based on the terms, the government presence that they have felt within the past few days or past few months or a couple of years. Why can't you have a system like that? Why must it be either this group is coming out to arrange or to make a coup against another group, against APC, against that? It really don't give me joy to talk about APC problem, honestly. It really doesn't give me joy because I am so disappointed in the system of politics we practice in this country. I'm so disappointed.
Well, unfortunately, APC is the government in power because we're still going to talk about them right now.
No, it's so disheartening. It annoys me. It annoys me that we'll sit down and then discuss APC failure versus APC failure. I think that's the problem. Because if I don't
think this one is APC failure. Let's just look at it. There's a next one I don't think is APC.
No, because look at it from this way. Now, we are not looking at what Alebosala has done to the people, or maybe possibly the level of government or governance he brought to the people at the grassroots. That's my place of concern. So why must it always be because he wants to remain in power, or this wants to remain in power? And just like the case I said, in Rivers State today, with the next local government election that is coming up, you see a House of Rep man that want to contest a local government chairman just because you want to be in power. Just because you want to be at the corridor of power.
All right, let's talk about APC again. Sorry about that, but they are the government in power, so we have to talk about it.
It's so sad.
So, Ali Audu, a senior A member of the ruling All Progressive Congress said that 45 ministers named by President Bola Tinubu were insufficient. He said, I don't think 45 is even enough. I don't think 48 is enough. We have a population of over 200 million. We are in crisis. According to Audi, Tinubu, as Lagos State Governor, felt that the need to take governance closer to the people and demanded creation of more local governments. But when asked his preferred figure, Audu, a member of Media Strategy Subcommittee, APC Presidential Transition Council, said, I'm not putting any number to it. He further said, a lot of people thought he was taking it too far, but look at how Lagos has moved in 24 years and how every other state has moved in 24 years. He said, I'm not talking about potential. I'm not talking about what it used to be before, but I'm talking about sheer growth between then and now. Audu noted that he was not speaking only in terms of revenue, but every standard. He said, Lagos isn't the poorest state in Nigeria, is it? The standard of living in Lagos State isn't the worst in Nigeria, is it? Then, in terms of burden, Lagos holds the burden of the entire nation. Audu said what it means is if we can take a bit of this pressure off Lagos by creating 6 other states in when it comes to you. 45 minutes. Yesterday, Showumi, the former spokesperson of Atiku Abubakar, the PDP in their 2019 election, and of course, he was a governorship candidate in the last election, came up to say that, of course, many the PDP chieftain, that is, came up to say that it is at a time when we should be talking about cutting down on governance, that we see a situation where the present administration is going on to enlarge his cabinet, that they expected him to cut down. Instead, he's increasing it. Now, APC chieftain is coming out to say, no, that is not even enough. He expected more. And when asked how many do you think he should have, he said he's not going to put numbers. He started talking about what Tinubu achieved in Lagos and all of that in 24 years. I'd like to bring you in here.
Well, I think some persons just want to think of how they can be able to add their voice so that they can also, the current administration, to see that they are being supportive. I mean, some persons just say what they want to say. You have 45 ministerial positions, and you said it's not enough. And each of these ministerial positions, if you notice, they are contradicting. You see different ministerial positions, like how many ministerial positions have been created recently? Just to make, how many states do we have? 36 states that we have. You're talking about 200 million people. The 200 million people that you're talking about, or 200 million Nigerians that you're talking about, have 1 million felt the presence of government so far. Do we have a system where 1,000 persons in the country has felt effectively the presence of government at the grassroots level? Or we are talking about only those at the corridor of power. So why would you be thinking about creating more ministerial positions or ministries? Why thinking about that? Why saying 45 is not enough? And come to think of it, how much do we have? How much are we owing? Nigeria has borrowed to how much today? And we are talking about creating more ministerial positions. Which money will you use to service these ministries? Where is the money coming from? Where is the money coming from? The IGR that Nigeria is generating, where are we seeing it? The fuel subsidy removal that has amounted to so amount of money. Where is it? Is it a palliative that we're talking about? Or is it by buying how many vehicles for ministers? Now, come to think of it, these 45 ministers that we are already having have four vehicles to themselves already. Now, each of them has how many vehicles? Many of them are former governors of the states, of their various states, that are already in power today as a minister. We have how many former governors in the ministerial position? As we speak today, we have how many former governors that are ministers? And we also have more positions that have been created. Well, if not because we added our voice, and not because we said something, the current administration under Bola Ahmed would have scrapped that of Ministry of Nigeria Delta Affairs. Sensitive position or sensitive ministry like that, then you want to scrap it away? and then create another ministry or move it to the office or under the Ministry of the Secretary of Government Federation. If not because I added our voice, I said no to that. Now, we have a situation where the president must understand that he needs people that can be able to give him the necessary advice that will make Nigeria move forward. I think with the current ministerial position or with the current ministers we have today, the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, might not do better. Because the people we have today as former ministers and the faithfuls or the stakeholders in APC are not thinking well. And I think the president should look towards that because they want him to fail. A lot of persons are giving him success, giving him kudos based on his antecedent as the former governor of Lagos State. And do you think the former governor of Lagos State, who is now the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, will go to do what he did in Lagos State currently? With the style of leadership, I don't think he can. Because according to what some people say, according to the antecedent we have so far, we are also aware that today, why he succeeded in Lagos State was because he actually appointed technocrats. He appointed people that was ready to plan governance and not politics. He appointed those that was prepared for governance. Those that was ready to make sure that Lagos State do better than the way it were. Those were the people he appointed. But come to think of Nigeria today as the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, is he actually using the same footstep? The answer is no. So what makes you think that what the result is going to get as a former governor will be the same result he's going to get as current president? How are we going to match that or match that? Because from his antecedent, he will not meet up such result. He did well according to what we're hearing, according to his antecedent, according to what is on ground. He did well as a former governor of Lagos State. But do we think he's actually going to do well? The answer is no. Why is the answer no? The answer is no because of the cabinet members he has just appointed. Considering what we are saying, look at the current Senate president. Look at those he has appointed, the chief of staff, the secretary of government federation, his ministerial position. They are all willing to have their personal interest to succeed. They are not prepared to move the country forward. They are not prepared to move the country forward. I think with this size of leaders we have today, we are going more backward. We are going very, very far from where we are supposed to be. This is the stage we are today. We are supposed to have taken the center space. But as we speak, are we taking the center space? No, we are going backward and expected. Because we have a senior president, we have a secretary of government federation, we have chief of staff, we have, his cabinet members, their job is sworn in. And how many of them are prepared to make something better out of this system? They are all ready to grab. They are all willing to grab. The statement of Umar recently actually felt like, okay, some contractors have not done well. I think there are some governors or past former governors that are in his cabinet that are prepared to do well. I think Umar, as the Minister for Works, did a little bit better in his own state, even though he was not doing better 100%. But at least the construction, the road construction, but the infrastructure project embarked upon, some persons, people go to Ebonyi State, is still standing tall as one of the good ones, better than that of Rivers State. Right. So I think as a former governor, which would do well in terms of infrastructure, will also try his best. And maybe that's the reason why he was appointed as the Minister for Works. So as the Minister for Works, if he can bring in what he did in Ebonyi State and implement that in Nigeria, I think we're going to do better with his own office. But come to think about the Ministry for Environment, consider what is going on today in our environmental sector. All right. Are we going to do better? Now look at the FCT Minister. What is his pronouncement recently? What is his pronouncement, the FCT Minister?
Much, Comrade Imabe Savior Oscar. We have to run. The political issues are never going to end, but rest assured that we can't wait to have you back here. It's always powerful. I don't want to use refreshing because you look for all the troubles around everywhere. It's always nice to have you on the show. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you very much. I'm always happy to be here.
Thank you. And that's a show, everyone. And then if you miss any conversation, all the conversation on the show was streamed live on our Facebook, YouTube pages. So you do well to follow us on Atlantic Television Network and watch us live on atlanticnetwork.tv or ATN Live from the App Store, or watch us live on Facebook and YouTube as well. Follow us on other social media platforms, Atlantic TV Net on X and Atlantic TV Network 1 on TikTok and Instagram. But remember that peace and unity are the pathway to progress. Enjoy the rest of your day.
People. Mr. President,
my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
To condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this minister at the Temple of Justice.